Hello, BookTube. We're continuing on with the shelf tour of Bookcase 4, Shelf 5, and in this case it's Part 3. So we're getting into some stuff about Britain. We'll start off here with Simon Schama, A History of Britain at the Edge of the World, 3500 BC to 1603 AD. This is not the only volume in this series, but it is the only one I have. It was a TV series on the History Channel by Mr. Schama. It's Talk Merrimack's Books, Hyperion, New York, and it's 2000. And it's History of Britain. We start right out with the Stones and Orkney, just as he did in the series. Really beautifully illustrated volume and a good documentary. Here's pages from the Domesday Book and then Ely Cathedral. Let's see what else we have. Here's the Luttrell Psalter. Oh, images from the Luttrell Psalter. Let's see if we get something later here we can show you. Red chalk drawing of Elizabeth I. I do not imagine you'll be able to see this very well, but maybe. Well, there's the first volume. Next thing is this big old History of Wales by John Davies. And this is Allen Lane, the Penguin Press. And this is 1993. A big old survey history of Wales, which I enjoyed very much. Then here is a history of Scotland, a little worse for wear, Thames and Hudson books, Fitzroy Maclean, Scotland, or Concise History, Revised Edition. But I need to find a replacement for this. 234 illustrations, and this is a 1998 reprint of the 1993 Revised Edition. Here you go. Just a little short survey of Scottish history. I don't think I got it before my dad went over there, just so we could talk about it. Then we've seen this series before. This is Ancient Peoples and Places, but we haven't seen a paperback version in my collection before. So this Early Christian Ireland by Mayer and Liam DePore. 76 photographs, 31 line drawings, 5 maps, Thames and Hudson. And this came out in 1958. Revised in 64. First paperback edition was 78. So this is 1978. And in the back there are photographs. And then the history. So nice little volume. Then we have The Making of England, Anglo-Saxon Art and Culture, AD 600 to 900, edited by Leslie Webster and Janet Blackhouse. With contributions by a bunch of folks, published by the trustees of the British Museum and the British Library Board by the British Museum Press. And this would have come out in 1991. It was a description of museum type artifacts. Some pages. Then we have, this is from college, Norton Library, History of England, Roman Britain and Early England, 55 BC to AD 871, by Peter Hunter Blair. Part of the Norton Library, you can see there. So I had this in college. It's a little worse for wear. Copyright 1963. And this Norton Library is from 66. It would have been part of a class I took on Roman Britain, which always has interested me. And here we have, I love these little paperback series. This is a Britain Before the Conquest, The Origins of Britain by Lloyd and Jennifer Lang, a Paladin paperback. So part of a series. Published in London in it's a 1986 reprint of a 1982 book. Make sure there's a picture on the page. So The Origins of Britain follows the path of man's occupation of Britain from the scattered pockets of habitation in the earliest Paleolithic period through to his growing domination of the landscape and his capacity to mold his environment evident in the late Bronze Age. So you can see the focus, probably landscape archaeology, that type of thing. Then in the same series, Britain Before the Conquest, again a Paladin paperback, The Coming of Rome by John Walker. Roman Conquest of Britain, and well, let me give you the date. Get a little more organized here. So 1979 was published by Routledge, and this is Paladin published in 81, but this is a reprint from 86. So the Roman conquest of Britain and the progressive extension of Roman control marked a dramatic transformation of British society. The Coming of Rome looks at the basic features of Roman Britain, the cities and towns, the monuments of urban culture, and at the people who worked in or lived in or visited Britain during the first 2 centuries or so of Roman rule. So, again, illustrated throughout. The other volumes in this series would be Celtic Britain, later Roman Britain, and Anglo-Saxon England, which I'd like to find, but we will see. Then we have The Age of Arthur, A History of the British Isles from 350 to 650 by John Morris. This is, let's see, Charles Scribner's Sons, New York, and it's 1973. And John Morris is a senior lecturer in history at University College London. This says, the author is the first professional historian to undertake a comprehensive assessment of the scattered evidence concerning the infant years of England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland, and their influence upon each other and their relationship with Europe. John Morris has written a full history of the British Isles from the 4th to the 7th century, collecting and interpreting the available evidence and bringing to life the historical King Arthur, who gives his name to the age. So, be that as it may. So, John Morris, King Arthur. And then another Roman Britain thing here, Britannia, A History of Roman Britain by Shepard Freer. Older volume, let's see here. It's published by Book Club Associates of London, and Shepard Freer was professor of archaeology of the Roman Empire in the University of Oxford. Pretty impressive. This was first published in 1967, and this one is, this Book Club Associates did a volume in, this volume in 1973, by arrangement with Routledge and Keegan Paul Limited. It's A History of Roman Britain. They're not illustrated very well, or that wasn't the point of it, I guess. And then finally, this is also another older volume. It's a Yale University Press volume. Aubrey Burrell's The Stone Circles of the British Isles. Excuse me. And this was New Haven in London, 1976. So I use it for those of you who are into like Stonehenge and that sort of thing. This is the distribution of stone circles in southwest Ireland. So there we go with the third part, the fifth shelf of the fourth Big Wall bookcase. Thank you, BookTube.